Welcome to this Sahara 4 exercise. In this exercise, we will use the well note window to modify the notes that we imported in the previous exercise. Some of the notes were left in Spanish and we need to translate them to English. So in this case, we will open our Sahara project, and here we can see the two notes that we want to, to edit, to modify. The first one is the one where they decide to run this ESP in the well, and in the second one they discovered that the ESP was faulty or damaged and that they needed to run another ESP. Um, so in this case we will go now to either, we have two options here to open the well notes window. Here we can right click here on the production window and go to well notes. This will open the window that we want to use to modify the notes, or either way you can go to edit, wells, notes, and here this will open the window as well. So here we can see that we have the date associated to a node. We can modify by double clicking here the author that we don't want to modify, in this case the category. We can select another category, the top and the bottom, which in this case these nodes are associated to the whole well, so we don't need to modify that. And here the text of the node, that is the one that we want to modify. To modify it, click here and you will be able to change the node. Here we will translate this to English, so in this case it will be this ESP cut. At plugin head, replace the equipment. So we have a previous ESP which we needed to modify because it was cut at the plug head, so we needed to run another ESP. This is the first node, and in the case of the second node, this explains that after running that ESP for a couple of years, now the equipment was again in need of change or being maintained. So in this case, we can see that they pulled the tubing and ESP set at 1200 meters, and they decided to run a new different ESP at a more shallower depth, which can also help explain the change in the rate after that. So now we have our notes with the correct modifications, and we click on save. And now our notes have been modified properly. Here there are other buttons that we can use. Here we can select other wells to check on different nodes. Here we can add more nodes. For that we need to select a category here, and you can see that now this button is allowed to it allows us to add another node here by adding another row. Here we can delete with this button. We can copy the whole table here, or we can order the different nodes with different criteria depending on the column that we are have our mouse in. In this case, for example, we can order them from top to bottom, or here by different authors, or here by date. So in this case everything is set. Here this can also help us filter. In this case we don't have any drilling nodes, or both of them are general, and here we will see all the nodes together. So in this case I will just save here, and now our nodes should be in English, and effectively they are. We can see here with more detail that now they are currently displayed in English as we wanted. In the case that you do modifications like this and you don't see the change, something that may happen is that you may need to close the production window and open it again. This is one of those instances in which you may need to refresh the window for it to happen, and as this particular window doesn't have any refresh button or calculate button, the only way to do it is by closing the window and open it again. So thank you for watching and have a great day.